I look into the window of my mind, reflections of the fears I know I've left behind. I step out of the ordinary, I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now, and you can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today to make you feel proud? You could be so many people if you make that breath for freedom. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Still so many answers I don't know. There are so many answers. Realize that true question is how we grow. To question is to grow. So I step out of the ordinary. I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now. You can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today to make you feel proud? You could be so many people if you make that breath for freedom. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Yeah, we need a change. Yeah, do it today. Yeah, I can feel my spirit rising. Change. Yeah, we need a change. Yeah, so do it today. Yeah, 'cause I can see you clearer right there. To make you feel right, yeah. Let me hear you, let me hear you, let me hear you. So what have you done today to make you feel proud? Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause you could be so many people. Just make that breath for freedom. So what have you done today to make you feel proud?
Go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure that you're joining us here this evening for our first webinar. How exciting is it to use this new modern technology? And we hope that it all goes well. But forgive us if technology is a bit clunky, but we will do our very best tonight. So, a warm welcome to students, parents, carers and everyone for our conference on study and support. And what we would like to do tonight is to take you through our process of how we will support students during year 11 in terms of the study and support campaign. And really, right from the offset, we need to emphasise the fact that your work, your life, your future is your responsibility. We will absolutely do everything that we can to support you in that process, but you have to take responsibility for your learning. And if you have any challenges or barriers to learning, then talk to us and we will help you with that process. So tonight, what is it all about? Well, we're going to broadly take you through a few key steps about the importance of the study and support programme, which we have uniquely at Haven High. I'm going to talk to you briefly about the reasons why we do it and update you on results across the Academy over the last couple of years. Mrs. Broadbridge will then take over and talk about the detail of the study and support campaign and the importance of it, and leading on then to the Butlins revision conference, which is really the culmination of all of the hard work that will result from study and support. We're going to get a bit of input from two prior students, Adele and Marcus, who are going to talk to you about their experience of study and support and the benefits of attending it. Mr. Thompson is then going to take us through the research to prove that doing study and support is really important, and he'll give you a few tips on how to study and the different methods that we can use. And then Miss Dutton will take us through career aspirations as the director of aspirations here and the leader of the Future Zone. This will really sort of set the picture really for the future, and then Mr. Thompson will carry on and answer any of the questions through the Q&A panel at the end. So if you'd like to put in any questions, please go to the chat and we'll be able to handle that hopefully during the presentation at the end. And we've certainly got some members of staff online who will be able to support any of that Q&A as we go live. So that's the programme. Let's have a look. So very clearly, kind of our question that we have to answer at the beginning is, what are we doing? What's our vision? Why are we trying to raise the aspiration of the students within this academy to do better? And our vision is about delivering this world-class education to enable all students to graduate from Haven High with the skills to be great, successful citizens of the future. Excuse me. So that's really the whole sort of emphasis of what we are trying to do here at Haven High. So the question is, looking forward in about 12 months time, believe it or not, you guys will have now all finished your GCSE exams. What a scary thought that is. And I can tell you from our experience in school and being teachers, that 12 months will race by. So what I want to do now is just bring you up to that year and let you see the feelings and emotions of the students that went through this process in 2019. So think about, how will you feel on results day? And hopefully it'll be something like this.
Your blood like a winter freeze.
So how do you feel now?
Happy.
Why are you happy?
Because I got the results that I wanted.
Excellent. And are they better than you expected?
Yeah.
And which is your greatest success, do you think?
For English.
English. And
Yeah.
what did you get in English?
I hoped for a 3, but I got a 4.
Okay, well done. So you're over the moon.
Yeah.
It's a cold, lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this would never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again.
I've got 8, 6, and 7.
And how hard did you work?
Really, really, really hard.
What's your message be to year 11s for next year?
Don't panic in the exams. If it's a question you don't understand, just go with it and it won't be the end of the world.
And how hard do you think they should work?
Really, really, really hard. Start revising now.
Okay, thank you. Well done.
You need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like the true survivor, feeling like a little kid.
Well, I feel very proud because I passed everything. Can you imagine? I passed every single bit. I got a 5-year history, and before I had 2 degrees.
So you transformed yourself in year 11, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I realised that it's very important. College is very important in your life, and it will give you more paths to go, you know.
This is awful.
So how do you feel now?
So happy.
Why?
I thought everything was on chemistry.
Did you? Is that what you were expecting?
Yeah, no.
Really?
I got an 8 in history.
An 8 in history? What were you expecting?
A 2.
Really? And 2 9s. What did you get your 9s in?
English literature and religious studies.
And how hard did you work for those?
Very.
That is a brilliant set of results. Well done.
After all this time, I'm picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah. I'm still standing.
So, hey Peter, how do you feel now?
I feel great. I think I did good. Actually, I didn't expect this.
Which is the one that you're most pleased with?
My literature, I got a 6.
Oh, that is
Which I didn't
fabulous.
expect.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting a 4
No.
pass, at least.
And what would your message be to next year's year 11s?
Please revise.
And how much revision did you do?
I actually did as much as I could. I came in mornings, I went some evenings if I wasn't too tired. I tried.
Okay, well done to you.
Yeah. Once I never could hope to win. You're starting down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down.
How do you feel?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed?
Yes.
Why do you feel overwhelmed?
Well, I was kind of expecting to get the grades, but still, I was really nervous walking to school. Then I opened the papers and I started crying.
And how do you feel then overall with your results?
I'm really happy. I only got 1 3 and 1 9, but the rest are 4 and 5s.
Okay, and are they better than you expected?
I think so, yeah. I was expecting more 3s.
So,
I did not believe
how do you feel now?
I feel a little bit relieved, I guess, and feel still a bit nervous, and I'm feeling good. We did it. I passed. I got what I needed.
Circus, so you be a clown by now. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor.
And why are you happy? And what does that mean to you? Everything. So what are you now going to do in September?
Do teaching assistant apprenticeship.
Okay, and how hard did you work for those exams?
Too hard.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you believe it's all worthwhile now?
Yeah.
Well done, thank you.
I'm still standing, yeah.
So I hope from that video you'll get a slight feeling about the emotions that happened around the room. It was truly electric to see the joy on student and teachers' faces and parents' faces about the success that had been achieved as a result of their hard work. It was just a truly amazing experience, and I hope that in a year's time, when you are coming in to collect your exam results in August 2021, that you will also get the opportunity to experience those positive emotions. One of my favourite icons really in life is about Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Now, I totally agree with that, but equally, I expand upon that, and I'd like to say education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change your world. And your world is what we are absolutely working for at this moment in time. And you know that the results in this academy are improving as a result of the hard work that you are putting in. Just to remind you about GCSE structures, perhaps for some of the parents and carers who aren't quite up to speed with developments as a result of government changes. So we've now ditched the A star to G ratings at GCSE, and we brought in now a new numerical grading system, 9 being the best and 1 being the least best. And this is really an emphasis towards improving examination results in the United Kingdom and making it more competitive on an international scale. And there is no doubt, being a teacher in the old A star to C range and now a teacher in the 9 to 4 range, we can see absolutely that a number of A-level topics are now being expected to be understood at GCSE. So sure, challenge has increased, as had the content. And clearly many of the coursework elements have now disappeared, and many of the exams are now simply related to the final exams at the end of year 11. So all of your hard work must be orientated towards success in those last few weeks. So what are our results like? Because I really think it's important that you understand the pattern of improvement that's occurred over the last couple of years. So if we look at 2018, so a couple of years ago, Heaton High, as you can see, was well below average on a national scale, and its results at -0.69 generally indicated that students here were 0.7 of a grade behind their national counterparts with the same starting point. So that clearly was not good. However, if you look then in the league of schools around Boston, you can see at that stage we were right at the bottom alongside William Lovell. Now, clearly the students and teachers have worked extremely hard, and we continue to work hard. And as a result of that, last year's results that we have validated, our results improved significantly to -0.17, which meant that we were an average school. So we're in that middle 38% of schools nationally. Now, that's significant improvement and made us the second most improved school in terms of progress in Lincolnshire. And if we look at ourselves in the league table, we resulted in being number 2 to Boston High School. And indeed, their progress data of +0.2 looked very similar to our girls' performance. So we can clearly see there the improvement that has occurred. So that improvement has occurred, but we still have a number of underlying challenges. I'm not going to dwell too much on the data tonight, but clearly what we can see, if we look at the sort of middle row in terms of our Progress 8 score, you can see that there's quite a disparity between the girls and the boys. So the girls significantly outperform the boys. And if we look at their average grade, the girls achieved a grade of 4.17, so an average grade of 4.17, against the boys with an average grade of 3.5. So really what we are saying to the boys out there is you are improving and closing the gap on the girls, but there is still some more work that we need you to do, and we'll be assisting you in your development. And clearly this Study in Sport campaign will definitely help you out. So if we move on now and just look at average annual gross salary, I don't really want to dwell too much on this slide, because what it clearly shows is that as you increase your level of academic study, over time you earn more money. Hey, that's not new news to any of us. But what it is showing that there in 2013, when this data was put together, a significant gap between apprentices and graduates. What I want to say is that there's absolutely been a revolution in terms of the importance of apprenticeships, and that has absolutely closed the gap now between apprenticeship and graduates in terms of salary levels. And one thing that we absolutely are recommending is for students to become aware of the career opportunities that are in front of them, and not necessarily focusing in on the traditional route of going to university, because I think there are many other exciting opportunities that are available to you now in 2021 that were not available to students back in 2013. But this slide at least gives you an indication that the higher your educational standards, the more money that you will earn over life. So I'd like to leave you with a bit of a thought for the day, and that's really going out to the parents and carers who are joining us tonight, and thinking about the National Education Service, which are a qualified organisation who look at performance of students in relation to certain aspects. And clearly, one of the best predictors of success at student level is the involvement that families have in the learning of those students. Now, clearly, my son, William, is just leaving school and he's in year 11. So I understand the challenges of having a 15, 16-year-old child in the house who's not particularly keen on talking about what they have done during the day. But I can tell you that families that encourage learning at home mean that students perform better in their GCSE results, not only academically, but emotionally and mentally under the stresses and strains of GCSEs, where in some cases you're 4 and 6 hours in the hall answering exam condition questions. That is a significant emotional strain. So having the support of the families that are interested in the education of the young people is really, really important. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I'm now going to hand you over to Ms. Broadbridge, who's going to take you through in some more detail the study and support scheme.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Broadbridge and I'm responsible for running the Study and Support programme. I'm going to explain to you what Study and Support is and how it works. So Study and Support, it's a series of additional learning sessions made available to you to improve your success alongside a unique mentoring programme for all students in Year 11 at Haven High, where senior teachers give up their time to ensure that students can reach their full potential. So what does it look like? What is expected of you? We expect you to attend at least 4 sessions per week, and these will be discussed with your Study and Support tutor. The sessions can run either at lunchtime for 30 minutes, after school for 30 minutes, or a masterclass after school for 1 hour, or at Saturday school. It's your choice which you attend, which suit you best. As each session varies in length, we reward each with different inspiration points. Lunchtime and after school are worth 1 point. A masterclass is worth 2 points, and Saturday schools are worth 4 points. In short, you earn 1 point for every half-hour extra study you complete. We also expect you to attend additional sessions like careers, study skills and metacognition. This refers to memory, monitoring and self-regulation. Finally, there is an expectation that you attend weekly meetings with your Study and Support tutor at an agreed time. It's your responsibility to make sure you attend these sessions. Each session will be worth an IP point and is required to ensure that you get your reward at the end. Recording your success. You'll be given a booklet that looks similar to this, and you will fill this in with your Study and Support tutor on a weekly basis. Inside you'll have many different pages. Some of them will be for you to record your target grades, like this one. And this is a page that will where you record the sessions that you attend. So each teacher would sign to say you've attended that session. and you add up your weekly totals, and your study support tutor will log that for you. There's also space to record your trial exams and a convenient page for you to log times for parents' evening. So why should you attend study support sessions? Well, last year, students who attended 27 sessions on average per term had no resits in their trial exams. If they attended 18 sessions, they had up to 3 sits, and unfortunately those that only attended on average 6 sessions had between 3 and 7 resits. So that speaks for itself. It shows the benefit of attending these extra sessions. Also, improved GCSE grades. What do our students say? We carried out a survey and they said that it is a good scheme, with 85% saying it's good, but they strongly agree or agree with that. And 83% said they would recommend it to other Year 10 students. IP points that you earn convert to rewards. I'm currently looking at the rewards that will be on offer. So far, students have requested that they can cash in their IP points for stationery, revision guides, trips, gift cards, and even a Lamborghini. Unfortunately, I don't think the budget stretches that far. If you attend all the required sessions, as stated above, you will qualify to attend the revision conference at Butlins. And I have to say, this is one of the highlights of the year for me as a teacher. I will finish there and let you watch a video about Butlins, and it speaks for itself. You'll also see some videos from prior students. Thank you for your time.
Amazing experience, honestly. Pools, slides, everything here. Honestly, lessons are so fun. Slides, everything here. Honestly, lessons are so fun. Slides, everything here. Honestly, lessons are so fun.
It was more relaxed than in school, and I thought it was interactive. You had to speak with people, and we worked in smaller groups as well.
The fact that we got a chance to actually learn in a different environment instead of being in a classroom was a good change, I would say, because, you know, at the same time we actually managed to concentrate and do more work, but at the same time it was more chill and it wasn't so smooth. It also allowed us to have a good split between studying and having a lot of free time between us and being able to do whatever we want.
And then we also learned how to like live with each other in like communities, and like we all bonded together from living with each other.
Butlins was really enjoyable. You actually get to learn a lot in the 2 days that we're here. Although you may not think that we learn a lot, we do actually learn a lot, and it's really useful when it comes to revision because it's faster and quicker and a better way to revise.
Barefoot was really fun. It was really productive, you know, the lessons were really fun.
Well, first of all the rides are for free, and the Splash Water Worlds, which is cool, is also free.
Got lots of revision done as well. The activities were really fun, you know, swimming. We have more resources provided us. Yeah. That's really nice. I think it's really good. Really
I'm ready to win. The last time I freaked out, I just kept looking down. I just started weighing, asking what I'm thinking about. Like I couldn't breathe, you were so wrong with me.
I thought Footlands was a very good experience. I've learned a lot more from being here and revising with the teachers in their rooms, as it's more of a small group, and I felt like it's helped a lot more. And I've really enjoyed the experience we got going swimming and all the food here as well. That was good. And yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Portland was fantastic.
Good evening. My name is Adele and I would like to share my thoughts with you all on the Student Support Scheme at Haven High Academy. The Study and Support Scheme was launched to help students like me improve their grades and get extra help in topics they are struggling with. I would like to start by telling you how by attending the Student Support sessions, it helped me get extra support in things I struggled with, such as English. A lot of the time students don't ask for help, but attending student support sessions allows them to focus on the specific things they struggle with. In my case, this was the language paper 2 in English. After struggling to get 4s, I went along to those sessions and managed to talk and get extra help on answering what that particular paper was asking.
Good evening. My name is Marcus and I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of student support. To begin, as most of you know, in case you do not, student support is a program designed for students to take up extra learning / revision in their spare time. For example, before and after school, lunchtimes and Saturdays. Student support sessions happen every single day, giving students the extra chance to take up extra learning from their teachers. Doing these sessions with staff is extremely beneficial, as the sessions are short and usually cover more than just one topic, but in sufficient detail that will get them the grades they want. Personally, doing the student support sessions myself, it has made my mock exams and just lessons in general much easier, as I had a better grasp on the topics. This is because when attending student support, you often go over topics with the most difficulty. It makes revision at home much easier and you don't have to almost relearn the topics, which often results into memorizing the information you need. Along with this program come what we call student support tutors, where students have a staff member to act almost as a guide through year 11. These tutors will continuously try to motivate you to do more and more sessions, as well as this, guide you to student support based on your grades. It's up to students who they want as their tutor, as they can choose whoever they want, With this, you'll most likely see staff members also giving out small rewards such as inspiration points, sweets or chocolates. I mean, this is something little. Overall, tutors will be always there for students whenever they need them. Study and Sport also brings along cool rewards, as the most popular one is Butlins, which is very liked by previous years and also helpful for extra revision. However, rewards like these come with requirements, such as number of total signatures or the total signatures in a term, which has previously been used to reward students with activities at school, with inflatables, karaoke or even movies. In addition, there are also study coins. Study coins are a term of currency which are given to students based on the amount of signatures in a term. These are often spent on items such as prom tickets, leaver studies and other variety of items. In conclusion, I strongly believe that Study and Sport should be attended by every student because I can promise you it will help, especially if there are struggles at revising at home. This is an extremely beneficial program that will help students succeed. Thank you, and I hope everybody is well.
This then allowed me to get a higher grade as I had a better understanding of what I needed to write and which areas I needed to focus my revision on. Study and Sport didn't just help me in English, but it helped me in so many subjects, no matter how much or how little you need help in them. It allows you to create extra goals to work towards, which in the long run allows you to bring up your grades. Attendance at Study and Sport also brings rewards for your efforts, such as the Butlins Revision Conference and helping you go to prom, which is something most students look forward to. Benefits of the scheme include things like consolidating knowledge, working on the difficult areas of the subject. This is rewarding, but also the sense of growth of your knowledge increases your confidence. It helps students fill in any knowledge gaps they may have. The small focus groups with less distractions made it a lot easier to focus, especially from a student point of view, as everyone could focus on their main goal. So it allows you to do work surrounded by positive people. We are allocated a student support tutor who we meet with weekly to ensure we are on track and discuss any concerns we may have. Personally, I decided to go to subjects every week, and this allowed me to keep my schedule, which helped a lot with my revision. As I was not forced to go to certain subjects so many times, I could focus on the ones I knew and my teachers knew I needed the most help in. Once engaging in the scheme, a lot of people notice a change in grades, and this is something I noticed about my personal grades as they rose a lot. One thing I will say to future Year 11s is please take full advantage of the Study and Sport, because although it is annoying to give up your time, it will benefit you, so in many ways, and will help you secure the results you want for your future. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mr. Thompson, and I would like to talk to you about some of the educational research that is out there and how this could help you help your child during the next year as they prepare for their GCSEs. I'll touch upon some of the best techniques for revision and how as parents you can help your child to achieve and aspire to reach their goals. Finally, I'll go over a fantastic tool called GCSE Pod that I hope you're aware of. But if you're not, you will be by the end of this presentation. And just before I go any further, if you do have any questions, please remember there is the Q&A in the chat at the side where you can ask questions and we will answer at the end. Okay. So the first bit of research out there is it's called spacing. Now spacing is about preparing for your GCSEs. Now I know it's a long way off, but it comes around very quickly, and that's why it's important you need to be aware of spacing. Start revising now, start going over subjects and spread out your revision, don't cram, because as the graphs show you, those students that use spacing and spread out the work that they're doing do far better than those students that cram. The second thing I'd like to talk about is interleaving. Now, if you're not aware of interleaving is basically mixing up the work that you do. So, for example, revising maths, you could do some area work, a little bit of graph work, and maybe some percentage work. This is far better than spending all your time just working on percentages. And a really good way about interleaving is looking at how subjects work together and how topics work together. Okay, the third bit of research out there is something called retrieval practice. It's one of the best ways to revise. It's almost like going through the exams and doing mini dummy runs. And if you keep testing yourself when you come to the exam, it's just like second nature. Attempting to recall the material you are trying to learn, retrieval practice, is far more effective than just simply rereading material. I'll just leave that slide for a second to look at some of the statistics that are there. So, as Mr. Van Leer touched upon earlier, parents, you have far more influence than we actually do when it comes to encouraging your children and telling them that you believe in their abilities. Us telling them isn't as effective as you telling them. Talk to each other, and this will address some of the issues. Sorry, I'm having a few technical problems. Right, I'll start that again. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. So you have far more influence than we actually do when it comes to encouraging your child and telling them about their abilities and what you believe in. Having high aspirations and telling them how important it is, emphasize the benefits, both financially and mentally. We spend a long time working, and if you're happy in your job, you will tend to be happy in life. So putting that working now and getting the grades to get the jobs that they want is very important. One of the best ways to communicate is to eat together. So unfortunately, though, as our children get older, we tend to eat less together. But the research shows that if we do eat together, these are the benefits. Okay, so GCSE Pod is probably one of the most powerful and useful apps I've seen in my 15 years in education. We buy this product as a bulk buy, making it available to all our students. So it's not just available to our Year 11 students, it's actually available all the way through the school. If you were to go out and buy an individual license for a year, it would actually cost you £150. So it's basically 3-minute clips in all subjects, and it's ideal for things like interleaving, retrieval practice and spaced learning. So there are thousands of clips that can be put together as playlists by the students, so they can download them onto their phone and they can listen to them as they're going into school. They can also download them and actually plan out their revision for the week by using their playlists. Many pods now have click and challenge, which sort of goes back into retrieval practice that I was talking about, so where they can actually test themselves once they've watched the pods. Okay, so the graph here shows the difference in attainment between those that use GCSE Pod all the way through the academic year, or those that just use it for a cramming tool at the end. Those that engage with this app and work with this app actually can improve their grades by up to 3 levels over the course of the year. And what I would like to just finish on is just a little clip that GCSE Pod provide that shows you how you can use it with interleaved practice.
Interleaved practice is a learning technique which involves switching between topics regularly, compared to the more traditional method of learning about one topic entirely before moving on to the next. Interleaved practice has been shown to significantly improve your long-term memory and learning. GCSE Pod is the perfect resource for interleaved practice because of the way it organises all of the videos, called pods, into topics, subtopics, and individual short videos. This organised structure makes it easy to plan out your revision so that similar and related topics and concepts are studied together and in mixed order, rather than separately and in the same order. When you revise, try not to watch all the pods from a single topic or subject at once. Instead, switch to pods that cover topics which are related. As an example, if you're revising English, you might start by watching some pods on a specific text you're studying, like A Christmas Carol, and then switch to watching some pods covering a different English language topic, such as pods on creative writing. As you switch between topics, try to find links, similarities, and differences across each pod. This might seem more difficult than studying one thing for a long time, but it's more effective in the long run. Studying one topic for a long time can give the impression that you've mastered it, but this is often misleading. To make it easy to begin interleaving your revision, start by creating a weekly revision planner. You might be tempted to organise your revision week in a very structured way, one topic after another. However, it's actually much more effective to mix up the topics across the days. Once you've decided what you'll study each day, create your own personalised playlists on GCSE Pod, just like you would on Spotify or iTunes. Give each playlist a name, maybe the day or date you plan to study, and add pods across the topics you plan to cover. Now you don't even need to refer back to your revision plan, as you simply need to log into GCSE Pod to see what you want to study each day. Remember to build a playlist that's going to be manageable and to take plenty of breaks. As you watch each pod in your playlist, complete an active task to help the information stick. You could create flashcards with the keywords on one side and definitions on the back, and then get a friend to test you. Or create a poster of the information in the pod, including all the keywords, labelled diagrams, quotes, and dates. You can pause the pods at any time, or favourite a pod on a particularly difficult section to remind you to watch it again. Rewatching the pods at a later time will also boost your knowledge retention. Remember, interleaving alone isn't enough. You should also use other effective learning strategies, such as retrieval practice and spaced learning. Check out our other videos on them to learn more. Remember, spaced practice tells you when you should study, interleaved practice tells you what you should study, and retrieval practice tells you how you should study. Employing all three learning strategies when you're revising makes the time you spend so much more effective. Our data shows that the top 25% of users of GCSE Pod secure on average 3 grades higher than their teachers predicted they would get. So whatever you do, make the most of GCSE Pod. Good luck in your exams.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Miss Dutton and I'm the Director of Aspirations here at Haven High Academy. I'm the Careers Advisor here. I design the Careers Programme and run the Future Zone, the Academy's Career Hub. And I'm going to talk to you briefly about your careers education here. But before I do, just to remind you that any questions that you might have of anything that's been discussed so far tonight, if you just pop a question in the Q&A box and we'll get back to you. So what is careers education? So careers education is the name given to the development of knowledge, skills and attitudes through a planned programme of learning experiences in education settings that will assist students to make informed decisions about their life, study and work options and enable effective participation in working life, or as we like to say, become successful citizens of the future. Now that's come from the DFE and it's a bit long-winded, I know. So what does it actually mean for you? So it means that at Haven you will already have had
and will continue to have multiple experiences and opportunities to think about and talk about your options for the future. Some examples are there on the screen. So you may remember our in-house careers fair last year with more than 70 employers, or taking part in the Grenade Challenge earlier this year, where you designed and pitched an energy bar. These are all part of your career learning. Now that you've reached the end of year 10, we'll be looking more specifically at your next steps. So why is this important? Well, it's important because you're fast approaching what is probably the first big decision you'll make about your future. Where and what you'll do after you graduate from Haven High. There are lots and lots of options open to you. And over the coming months, we'll be doing a lot of work on preparing you to make these decisions. You can do A-levels, BTECs, apprenticeships, take a new T-level or the new technical qualifications. You can join the armed forces, go into work with training, attend college or sixth form, or spend 4 days a week with an employer. I won't go into too much detail about that now, as we'll be doing a lot of work on it over the next few months. But I just want to point out that there are lots of courses out there that could lead to a lot of different careers. The world of work has changed a lot over the years. Parents, you might remember being thrown in front of a careers advisor when you were this age, being asked about your skills and qualities and then matched up with a few jobs. If you liked working with people, you were sent off to be a nurse. If you liked English, off you went to be a secretary. That's not how it works anymore. You're no longer expected to know exactly what you want to do at this stage, but it's a really good idea to know what the possibilities are. So take a few seconds just to think about how many options there might actually be. How many different careers are there out there? How many different job titles in the UK alone? There are 12,000 individual job titles covering 24 job sectors. So that really does give you a lot of choice. But how many could you name if you had to? Probably nowhere near 12,000, but on average, people can only name about 100, so don't worry. The thing is, if you don't know they exist, you can't make them your career choice, and then you could be missing out on some real amazing opportunities. For example, there's more to being in the armed forces than being a soldier or a pilot. You could be a chaplain, a musician, a chef, or work in HR. If you're a good communicator and want to put your English studies to good use, you could work in the media department of the RAF, or if you enjoy map reading or enjoy geography at school or have a good eye for detail, you could become an air cartographer in the RAF and design and create maps used by the aircrew on missions. Ever wondered why the food you get on your plate doesn't look much like it did on the menu? Well, creating that image to tempt you in is someone's job too. You could become a food stylist. Want to work for MI5? Think that that's out of reach and they only headhunt people? Well, that's not true. They recruit on normal job sites like Indeed. Or you could join the UK's largest employer, the NHS. But there's much more to it than doctors and nurses and midwives. You could become an occupational therapist, a health and safety officer, a music or drama therapist, or design prosthetics, or lead clinical trials for new drugs. There are 350 separate jobs in the NHS. Now, I'm not saying for a second that painting the salad onto a burger or designing a new elbow joint is for everyone. But the point is, there are almost endless possibilities out there. And some of the biggest things limiting you are not knowing about them in the first place, or not knowing how to find them, or not thinking big enough, not thinking wide enough, and not having the confidence to find out what your dreams are, let alone chase them. So as Mr. Van Leer said earlier, it's your future and it's your responsibility, but it's also your choice. And that's where my role comes in. I'm here to help you do exactly that, to start your journey, to help you make your choices and to chase your dreams. You've already got a lot crammed into your careers programme, and this year you'll also get study and support signatures for taking part in extra activities and workshops, whether it be guest speakers, networking sessions, business breakfasts, or skills building workshops. So come and see me in the Future Zone, arrange a careers interview or an informal chat. Visit Future Zone more often at lunch and break time and get to know your own skills and your own interests better and start creating the future that you want. After all, the best way to predict your future is to create it.
Okay, hello everybody. So just at this part of the webinar, we just want to leave it open for a few minutes just to allow you to pop some questions into the live event Q&A area. We have got 2 members of staff who are answering questions, but we will pick out some of these questions with the team and answer them through the microphone. So we'll just give it about 2 minutes, pop your questions in there. We are nearly at the end of the event, but it'd just be great just to get some response off you. Okay, it's lovely to get some questions coming in already. So we've got a question for Miss Dutton. Can we have careers appointments booked over Teams during this lockdown?
Yes, you can. I've already taken a few bookings. I did put something on Teams a couple of weeks ago for those who wanted to go first. I will get through everyone at some point, but if you are particularly wanting one now, just send me an email or book me an appointment and I will do it through Teams, not a problem.
Lovely. You seem very popular this evening, Miss Dutton. We've got another one for you. Is there any opportunity to do virtual work experience during this period as well?
There are actually. I have put one onto Teams. There have been a few offers that we've had for virtual work experience. Now, the problem is they do pull you out of school for a whole week. Now, I think they're aimed at maybe schools who aren't teaching a remote program like we are. So it's something that you can be doing at home. So it's a little bit more difficult. But what we're working on at the moment is pulling the best bits from the best companies that are offering this and building it into our own program that we will be putting out at some point. So yes, you will be doing it, but it won't necessarily be live exactly, but there'll be something coming out soon.
Thank you very much, Miss. I will pass some questions over to Miss Broadbridge in 1 second. Okay, so we've got about 3 questions from Ms. Broadbridge this time. She's really prepared for this. So here we go. So the first one is, do we have to attend Saturday sessions?
We would like you to attend Saturday sessions, but it isn't a requirement. You have to do that. You can make up enough sessions during the week.
Okay, and how will rewards look like at the moment with the current lockdown and Teams, etc.?
That's what I'm working with students for. I'm asking them to tell me what they would like. Mainly, people have been asking for gift cards. They're interested in being able to purchase things like Xbox games and anything that you could buy online with a gift card. So we're looking at that route for one of the options. And then we will look at, once social distancing has been reduced, being able to do things like the trips.
And another one for you, Miss. When will Sunday support sessions start over Teams? Is this a possibility like we would have at school?
Definitely, and especially for Saturday school, so we could run more sessions. Each teacher will have the option to do in school or in the evenings after school as well, at home on Teams if they prefer.
Thank you very much, Miss. We're just getting a few more questions in, so I will just direct them in 1 second. And this is one directed to Mr. Thompson. Will we get any extra training or lessons or assemblies linked to the research points that you brought up, sir, in relation to interleaving and spacing?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll not only get it as a whole school, but you'll also get it with your study and support tutor. We think it's really important that you work with your study and support tutor. And if you are having problems with revision or how to revise, that's your first go-to point.
And thank you very much. We're just getting a few more. Some questions are a bit more personal. We will get the team to respond to them just in a private chat. Just getting a few more. Sorry, it's technical issues on my end. I can't read. Will there be extra support this year on top of study and support in light of the current situation? Who's going to answer that one for me? Let's go, Mr. Thompson. Everyone's pointing at him. Off we go.
Okay, I think with the current crisis and how we've been working, I think it's going to be a natural occurrence that extra support occurs anyway. I think Mrs. Broadbridge has already touched upon the use of Teams. Whereas before we were very restricted by putting our sessions on at lunchtime and after school. Teams gives us that opportunity to put them on a little bit later as well. So yes, most certainly. And also as well, we will be producing some summer packs in all subjects. So they will be distributed before the end of this academic year. A meeting will be organised with your study and support tutor, and we would like the students to come in to collect their packs, and their tutors will outline the requirements and what we expect from them.
Thank you very much, sir. So we've had quite a few questions in. I think we've answered quite a few of them this evening. I hope this evening has been informative. What I'm going to do is take us back to our initial slide with Mr. Van Leer on there, and he's going to do a dismiss for everyone this evening. 1 second. I should have thought of this before I scroll all the way back. Technical issues. By the way, most of the technical issues were me this evening. Do apologise. And here we are.
Right, good evening again, everyone. Thank you so much for attending and some really intelligent questions coming through. Clearly, from our perspective, we're extremely passionate about your success. This is what gets us out of bed in the morning. That's what puts a smile on our faces and often puts a shiver down our back. The thing from our perspective is that we will do whatever it takes to help you to develop your skills to enable you to be successful citizens of the future. The key thing, though, is all about your attitude to learning, your desire to improve, your aspirations for the future. And lots of people quote the thing that you will be whatever you dream you're going to be. And I think dreams here are something that we talked about a lot at Haven High. And in many cases, what we've seen from students last year, that they have delivered on their dream. You know, we were contacted only a few days ago by a student who's ended up as an entertainment support officer working for Disney on their cruise liners. Who would have thought that someone from Haven High could have aspired to achieve such an accolade in terms of their drama teaching? So really, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want to do, and we will be here to support you every step of the way. Mums, dads, carers, families, granddads, grandmas are all important component parts of your success. It is key that we maintain your academic health and your mental health, and we will do whatever we can to support you in there. And I'm sure Woody, the dog, would always love to be met by any of you guys to have a pat when you're back in September. So please carry on doing what you're doing. We are absolutely amazed at your commitment to your online learning. And I can only thank you from the bottom of my heart, the work that you are doing now, because it exceeds our high expectations. Please carry this on. Please focus over the summer holiday, where we will issue you with a relatively small summer work pack to complete, and then we'll hit the deck running in September. Hopefully we'll all be back at school. The early indications are that they are looking good, and that we will all be able to meet again to start what is the final sort of sprint towards your GCSEs. But to clarify, we're all available here online. We are available through Teams. If you have any questions or concerns, please direct them to the most appropriate member of staff. If they're not the right person, they will redirect you accordingly. But I just want to say once again, thank you so much to you, the students. Thank you to the staff who I know are listening for the amazing transition that you've made, moving from Haven High, Marion Road, to Haven High, very much in your own home, delivering seamless quality education. Thank you so much. Bless you all. Have a nice evening and stay safe. Good night.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the evening. I would just like to, oh, just lost my PowerPoint there like a loser. I'd just like to thank you for attending this event, and I would just like to say that you can follow us on social media and website to download a recording of today's activities. Thank you very much.